Okay, hi, this is Mike Wallace, and I just wanted to mention something important. Okay, when you're dealing with energy or magnetism, Nikola Tesla said his most important invention, and I got this from another YouTube video, so I'm kind of stealing it. But anyways, there's a quote that Nikola Tesla mentioned that his most important invention was the rotating magnetic field. And this was when he drew the figure in the sand and was looking at the sun and saw the rotation and everything and had this flash in his head and stuff, or before his eyes and everything, and this great vision of the rotating magnetic field as the sun was setting and everything. So what that means, the secret behind it, is that when you have a magnetic field that's a little vortex or ball or whatever you want to imagine it as, when you have a magnetic field as a standalone entity, it is interacting with everything around it. That's how you connect to the environment. And the whole Earth is a giant, magnetic ball with vortexes and streams and currents and everything. And you have this little magnetic field ball or vortex or however you imagine it. And it's there interacting with all this ether stuff going on, the magnetic ether. And so you have this magnetic field, and it's basically sitting there as a fixed thing, resisting all this stuff. As soon as you let it go free, like you disconnect the power on the coil or whatever, it begins to move. And as it moves, it catches all this moving lines of force and everything, and this magnetic stream going by, the stuff that moves compass needles and stuff, and it starts to rotate. So you have this water wheel basically in the magnetic stream of the Earth, just moving past everything and moving through everything. You don't feel this, you don't notice it, you don't hear about it, but it's there. And the way you can feel it, the way you can sense it, is by letting go a magnetic field, building up a magnetic field, and just disconnecting from it and letting it free float. If you have a free floating magnetic field that is disconnected from the power that was sustaining it, it's now sitting disconnected from the coil, and it's just sitting there with no anchor point, with no stability. It begins to move with these magnetic currents. So everywhere around the Earth are constantly moving magnetic fields. So to understand that, you have to look at the diagrams and the maps and everything that these, like the aurora, that's the perfectly way to visualize it. You have the constantly moving magnetic field, and it's being impinged on by these space particles, and that illuminates it, the solar particles, and that makes it visible. So the only way you can see these magnetic fields is by having these high intensity solar events where it lights up the magnetic field, and that's the aurora. So when you let go of this magnetic field in the moving Earth's magnetic field, it starts to rotate, and then on your coil it stays there, it just floats there, and it starts to rotate. And as it rotates, it cuts the line of the lines cut the coil wires. So you start to load down, you start to download this magnetic energy into your circuit. So as it does that, you get a huge spike in voltage. And this thing is like 7 times or more the voltage that you put into your circuit. And this voltage saturates your whole circuit against resistance, against the ground, and up into the wires of everything. And it goes against short circuits, it fills up short circuits, fills up all the wires, goes everywhere, and even resistances accelerate this voltage. It destroys semiconductors, everything. And as it goes in, and the reason that electrical engineers put a diode across coils is to prevent this from radiating out into their work. So if you take that diode off, when you disconnect from a coil, it'll be loaded up with voltage everywhere in your circuit and burn everything out. That way, you can capture that and use it for energy. And that's what I'm talking about, and that's what Nikola Tesla was talking about. Thank you for watching. This is Michael Ellis.